I waited many years before telling this story. Even now, when I speak about it, I feel a tightness in my chest, because that night I was someone I no longer recognize today. A young person who had completely lost his sense of boundaries. It was New Year's Eve. I was in my early 20s, at that age when alcohol, crowds, and the belief that nothing bad will happen collide in the worst way. We were leaving a house party. There were four of us in the vehicle: me, my girlfriend, and another couple. Everyone had been drinking, some beer, some hard liquor, some mixed with energy drinks. At that point, what we drank or how much didn't even matter anymore. The night itself had already taken control of us. I was driving, but honestly, driving was the last thing on my mind. My girlfriend and I had been dancing closely all night, crossing lines without caring who was watching. That energy didn't fade on the way home. The music was loud, windows were down. We were shouting into the night, yelling at passing cars, laughing, swearing, thinking we were funny, thinking we were untouchable. Looking back now, I feel ashamed. At one point, I wasn't even watching the road. I was distracted, pulled towards her, trying to keep one hand on the steering wheel while leaning into her. The car slipped slightly on the snowy road and scraped the curb. Nothing serious happened, no one was hurt, but even then, we didn't stop. We laughed, shouted, and kept going. That was our mindset. Eventually, the alcohol caught up with all of us. The couple asked to stop. My girlfriend agreed. She needed air too. We pulled over on a quiet, snow covered road outside the city. There were bushes along the roadside and no other cars around. At the time, it felt safe enough. Everyone got out. The women stepped closer to the middle of the road, while one of the men stayed near the truck and the other stood a short distance away. It was a moment of complete recklessness, alcohol mixed with youth and arrogance. Even now, remembering it makes me uncomfortable. But that night we treated it like nothing. That's when it happened. There was sudden movement in the bushes on the right side of the road. At first I thought it was an animal. Then a man stepped out of the darkness. He was middle-aged. His clothes were strange, dirty, but not the way a homeless person usually looks. Too clean to be homeless, too dirty to be ordinary, like someone stuck between worlds. He started yelling at us, swearing. I couldn't understand every word, but the anger in his voice was unmistakable. In his hand, he was holding a cleaver, the kind used for chopping wood. When it caught the light, the metal flashed. In that instant, everything disappeared. The laughter, the alcohol, the bravado, all of it was replaced by raw animal fear. The women screamed. One of the men froze in place. The stranger began walking toward us. No, not walking, advancing, aggressively. "Get in the car," I shouted. I don't even know who heard me, but everyone moved at once. Doors slammed shut. I jumped into the driver's seat. The man kept shouting, lifting the cleaver into the air. I hit the gas, but in panic, I reversed first. He started running. He reached the driver's side of the pickup truck and slammed his fists against the window. Then he struck the body of the truck with the cleaver. The sound of metal hitting metal still echoes in my head. The glass didn't shatter, but the vibration went through me. Driven purely by survival, I backed away, then stopped and turned the wheel. In my mind, there was only one thought: get away. But fear does strange things to people. I shifted forward and accelerated again. The man was still on the road. When he saw us coming, he hesitated. Everything slowed down. I don't know whether I meant to stop or not. At the last second, he threw himself to the side and fell to the ground. Whether it was instinct or desperation, I'll never know. We passed him. I looked in the rearview mirror and saw him lying there, curled up on the snow covered ground. I couldn't tell if he was injured or just stunned by the fall. No one spoke. The vehicle was silent. When we got home, I was still shaking. No one suggested calling the police. No one asked, "What did we just do?" It was as if staying silent could erase the night. We never told anyone. Not long after, my girlfriend and I broke up. Every time we looked at each other, that night stood between us. I also cut contact with the other couple. It wasn't planned. We just drifted apart. Now, as I approach my 30s, I understand something I didn't back then. The most frightening part of that night wasn't the man on the road. It was us, our loss of control, our irresponsibility, how easily alcohol, excitement, and youth pushed us towards something dark. I still don't know what happened to that man, but I do know this. That night, I became afraid of myself. And every year, when New Year's Eve comes around, that dark, snowy road still finds its way into my dreams.